That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This week we're bringing you episode 10, Cold Day in Hell from May 1997. I'm Mike Prue along with JV. JV, how you doing this fine week here? Fine evening.
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. A lot of wrestling going on this weekend. You know, current stuff that I'm still trying to catch up on. So
this past weekend.
Yeah.
Survivor Series weekend.
Yep. War Games.
Raw. Yeah, War Games.
Which is probably the best of the fucking bunch.
Yep. I think it was actually the best takeover.
Really?
Best takeover yet.
I haven't finished yet. I still got to watch the Velveteen Dream match, then the actual War Games match.
Yep, two excellent matches right there.
I saw the Matt Riddle debut and all
I
that
don't know what to
stuff,
think of it.
I get it. It was just kind of like, they were just trying to like show him off briefly to like maybe people that don't watch NXT every week, and they only, like I don't watch NXT every week. I watch it once in a while, catch up, and then I watch the takeover events.
Right.
So people that maybe didn't know who Matt Riddle was, I guess it was kind of a way to put him out there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Put him on the big stage.
Yeah, but he's cool. I think he's.
Yeah, I think he's cool.
I think he's got he's gonna have something going for him.
He's got a little it factor.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's when this gets dropped, it's Monday, but when this gets dropped, it'll be Thanksgiving Eve. So tomorrow's Thanksgiving for all y'all. Hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving and don't get too hammered tonight. And go out and do stupid shit. Just go home and drink. Drink in your house.
Yeah. Drink in your house. Cold day in hell.
Yeah, in your house. So last week we covered the Austin Hart 3, the third match, the third pay-per-view match of Stone Cold and Hitman, and that was a pretty good match last week that we discussed from April 1997. Did you have any last final thoughts on that? There's one thing that popped up in my thinking when starting to prep for this episode.
What was that?
Is that the match that we watched, that final match, that was the number one contender match. But I don't think they ever said anything about it at all.
Neither do I, and I kind of, I don't think they did.
I don't think they did at all. I'm sure we would have talked about that, and I would have written something about it to remind me about that, but I don't think so. I think they just make that up the next night on Raw. Say that it was the number one contenders match.
Or you'd have known if you called the hotline and paid the $1.75 a minute. That's probably
maybe.
That's probably what they told people. But no one knows because no one called that line.
Yeah. All right, so we'll just get into it. So we got May 1997. We'll be heading into May. So it's really April to May of 1997. So we'll pick up from the night after the Revenge of the Taker pay-per-view, in your house pay-per-view. And we're going to be in Binghamton, New York. Binghamton? Is it Binghamton or Binghamton?
I would go Binghamton.
Binghamton.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, Binghamton. All right, we'll just go with that. So it's April 21st, 1997. This is Raw 206. And, it's that Raw's War. You get the pyro blowing up. It's just a lot of excitement. Music's playing. It's like a rock concert. So I just love that feel of Raw at that time.
Oh, so
watching
good.
watching every one of these Raws is just exciting. It's like a big spectacle. And good shit's going to happen. When you hear that glass shatter. That happens so often in this era's Raw. Stone Cold's coming out. So Stone Cold is going to open this episode too. And they're going to talk about last night's match, the Revenge of the Taker match. but they're also going to say that it's not over yet, and there's going to be a match tonight. Going to be a street fight. So we're going to play a clip for you. Then we'll talk about the clip on the other side here. So take a listen to this opening. Okay, it's about 5 minutes. And then we'll talk about it after that. Take a listen.
To the toughest SOB in the WWF.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. And how about it, ladies and gentlemen? On May 11 in Richmond, Virginia, but for most of you on pay-per-view, Stone Cold Steve Austin will wrestle for the World Wrestling Federation Championship.
The first thing I want you to do is shut your stinking hole. We ain't talking about Richmond or wherever the hell the pay-per-view is. Tonight we're talking about Bret the Hitman Hart. Last night, the whole world saw me whip his ass right in the middle of the ring with this world-famous sharpshooter. You ain't gotta like it, but it's damn well what happened. The only reason I ain't finished with Bret is because the Bulldog and Owen came out there and saved his little carcass. So all I want tonight out of you and the WWF is for Bret Hart to bring his ass out here right now.
Oh, he'll come, all right.
Don't worry. Don't worry about putting on your little black and pink tights because they look like crap anyway. I don't want to wrestle you, Bret. I don't want to wrestle you. It ain't over because I told you it never would be over as long as I'm breathing air. So you come right out here right now in a street fight and I'll beat your ass back to Canada and you got 1 minute. You got 1 minute to get out here.
He don't have to come out here now, does he, Ross? Well, he does if he wants to accept the challenge. Austin wants Bret out here in a street fight. Austin wants to meet Bret Hart right here tonight live on Raw is War in a street fight.
Well, I got news for you. Bret the Hitman Hart is not afraid of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He may not be dressed. He may not be ready. The show's just gone on the air, Ross.
Certainly Austin, the biggest opportunity of his life on Sunday, May the 11th in Richmond, Virginia, but that's not what's on Stone Cold's mind.
Look at this. They got a timer up there.
Bret Hart's got less than 30 seconds to accept this challenge. And I don't think Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to take no for an answer. We're down to about 10 seconds, and we are waiting.
Where is he?
He's here. I saw him earlier. Bret is here somewhere. I don't think Austin...
I knew damn well you didn't have the guts to show up, so I'll come back there and get ya.
What? What?
Hey, Stone Cold Steve Austin, you American scum. I accept any match with you, because you know what? You are nothing but a dirty, stinking, low-down hyena. And I learned one thing, that my family is too good for the American public. The American wrestling fans, you know what? You're all just a pack of wild hyenas, just like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because all you care about is blood. You got no ethics, you got no morals, you got no family values, you don't care about family. Now, Stone Cold Steve Austin, last night, whimpering and crawling around the ring, I almost ripped your leg right off the hinges. And all you people sitting there, you loved it. You loved the violence. You loved the blood and guts. Stone Cold Steve Austin, I accept. You know what really gets me is how the American fans can justify the ilk like you and people like Shawn Michaels. Just tells you right there that the World Wrestling Federation and the American wrestling fans are going straight down the toilet. How is it that you somehow get a World Wrestling Federation Championship title match with The Undertaker? Is beyond my scope. But you know what? I don't care if you got a title shot with The Undertaker. After I'm through with you tonight, you'll be going straight to hell.
Oh!
So,
If I'm going straight to hell, you're damn sure coming with me.
Austin's going after Bret.
Huh?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a night it's going to be. Stone Cold Steve Austin is going after Bret Hart. We'll try to keep our cameras on this situation, but it's going to be a street fight tonight. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret the Hitman Hart, King.
Okay, so kind of just getting into, that there's going to be a street fight. Austin's going to challenge him. He's going to challenge Bret, saying that he's never going to be done with Bret Hart, not until he's dead. So we get this little countdown. Austin wants the street fight to happen. So there's going to be a little countdown going on in a bit. Okay, so I do want to point out, I failed to mention this because I didn't talk about who's interviewing him. Vince McMahon is interviewing him.
Yep.
And what's the first thing you noticed about Vince McMahon?
He's a little giddy, I guess.
Oh yeah, he is a little giddy. He does seem like he's horny for.
But that's kind of how it feels, from the next couple of episodes that we're going to cover today. You can kind of see he's like he's got a moneymaker.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what I noticed though is that he's wearing the classic black jean jacket.
Oh yeah.
The Roy's War jacket.
Yep.
His black jeans, his black jacket. That popped out, stuck out to me, watching this. So, back to that countdown thing. So you get this big countdown on the Titantron, and then Bret finally comes on and agrees, says he's gonna have the street fight, and that Austin is a dirty, filthy hyena.
Which is his go-to line.
Yeah, over the next 3 weeks, he's just on that hyena. The American fans are hyenas.
Yep.
And Austin's a hyena. He has no morals, no values, no ethics, just like the American wrestling fans.
Yeah.
So he's stuck on that.
What I kind of found weird is, all right, so we know that Bret Hart here, ends up accepting the challenge from Stone Cold. But at the start of the show, the announcers kick it off by saying that that there's a street fight happening tonight.
Right.
So they kind of give it away, and I kind of noticed that because this kicks off this episode of Raw 206 is Austin's opening the show, and so they announced the street fight, but Bret Hart hasn't even accepted yet.
Right. Jerry Lawler just mentions it kind of in passing, there's gonna be a street fight tonight, and it's before Stone Cold even comes out.
Yeah.
So looks like they kind of messed that up there.
But I thought the timer was cool. How he's going to beat his ass back to Canada. He's got 1 minute to come out, and they kind of really milked it. It was a good little touch in the production. So I did like how Stone Cold brags about having the sharpshooter on Bret Hart. He looks genuinely happy about bragging about that.
Yep.
And,
he did it well too.
Yeah, he did. Compared to, we'll get into that.
Yeah. So Bret Hart kind of wraps it up, telling Austin that he's going to go to hell. And then Austin's like, if I'm going to hell, you're damn sure coming with me.
Yeah, great line.
Yeah, so nice little way to end it, and then the glass hits and the music plays.
Yep.
And then they're off. So just a couple little side notes of things happening on Raw is Austin's going to attack the Hart Foundation later on backstage. And it's actually the first time that the name Hart Foundation is used to refer to this group. So they're going back to the old tag team name, going with the Hart Foundation. So that's the first time that it's mentioned by JR. Then another thing that happens, I don't know if you were watching this part of it, but Ken Shamrock challenges Mike Tyson.
I did see that.
He's on commentary.
Mm-hmm.
And he challenges Mike Tyson.
And Jerry Lawler's talking smack to him he'll knock your lights out. Yeah.
Yeah. And Ken Shamrock tells Lawler to sit down, and he's already sitting down.
Yeah, stay down and be retired or something. Says something about Jerry Lawler being retired at that time.
Right. Sit down and be retired.
Yeah. But I thought that was cool. I mean, obviously we know what comes with Tyson down the road, so
right.
Maybe, like you said, maybe this was their initial plan, the original plan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe that's what they were hoping for at first. And then Tyson. When's Tyson bite Holyfield's ear? Is that after this?
Oh man, I don't know. My boxing history isn't all that good.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It had to be. This had to be after Tyson bit Holyfield's ear.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, it probably was.
Because I don't think Tyson boxes again, does he? After he,
I don't think so.
yeah, I think he's already kind of wrapped up. I don't remember. That's a good question, though.
Yeah, if anybody knows, tweet it.
Yeah.
Tweet at us. Calls an idiot.
I remember that clearly. I mean, I watched that boxing match. So
Yeah, I remember it. I feel like it might have been the end of 95 or end of 96 that it happened.
I was thinking like 94, 95.
Yeah, it's probably late 95. My memory serves me correct. I'm thinking about when I was in middle school,
Yeah.
talking about it, and I think it was 1995 or 96.
Which is crazy to think he bit someone's ear
Yeah,
in a professional boxing match.
crazy mofo.
Yeah, he's nuts.
All right, so just wanted to point out those couple side notes there with
Yeah.
Raw. There's a lot of interesting things that happen in Raw, so as I watch, I'm like, I know this is supposed to be just Stone Cold show, but you can't help but, talk about and mention some of the classic things that happen, or just little things that come up
Yeah.
on these episodes.
And we appreciate watching it, so I'm sure the listeners really appreciate hearing about it too. It's like, oh yeah.
Right.
Oh shit, I remember that,
Yep. All right, so we're going to go to now the street fight. So they're coming out in street clothes. Austin's wearing an Austin 316 shirt. He's wearing his jeans. Bret Hart is wearing jeans also. And Austin even mentions earlier, I think it was earlier in that first clip that we played, Austin says, "Oh, you don't need to get your pink and black tights on. It looks stupid anyway."
Yeah, he says they look crappy. He says they look
Yeah,
crappy
they look
anyway.
like crap.
What I found weird, it's like, all right, Stone Cold comes out in his Austin t-shirt, promoting it, putting it out there for people to see. Bret Hart has t-shirts at this time, has some kind of apparel. And he just comes out in like a generic, grayish blue t-shirt. Like, I don't know, why wouldn't you wear like your shirt, dude?
Yeah, it's a poor decision. He looked like he was like casually dressed to go to the movies or something. All right, so I'll give you a timestamp. So if you want to just check this match out, it's at 22 minutes on this episode. 22 minutes. It goes to about 38 minutes. So if you want to check it out, you can pause this, watch the match, come back and listen to us. All right, so let's get going with this match. All right, so you have Earl Hebner. Fucking Earl Hebner. He's a referee for a street fight. What is he needed for?
Yeah, I know.
I just don't understand it. There's good action in this match, but I don't know what the hell the rules are. How do you win? Do you win, or you just fight? I have no idea what's going on.
Well, it's weird because, not to jump to the end of the match, we'll go back to the beginning of the match, talk about the stuff in the middle, but, I mean, it's a street fight, and when Stone Cold puts the sharpshooter on Bret Hart, he has it on him for like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I timed it, I was like, shit, it's a long time. There's like refs and everyone trying to break him out of it. It's like, dude, it's a street fight. Like, let him go. You know what I mean? It ain't over. He ain't quitting. Like, why are you trying to, like, stop it?
Right. You agreed to have this street fight, and you have all these officials. Like, fuck off.
Yeah. The hell?
Go in the back. Let them fight.
Yeah.
Or if somebody's going to break it up, it should be the Hart Foundation members are going to break it up.
Yeah. Which they did, right?
Referee.
I mean, they come in they ambush Stone Cold, basically, to start the match.
Yeah, right from the start. Owen and Bulldog come out. They attack Austin.
Yep.
Even JR makes a point saying the entire Hart Foundation is attacking Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Using the Hart Foundation phrase again, term, name, just to kind of hit it home that's their name. They're the Hart Foundation.
And you got
then Shawn Michaels comes back out of nowhere.
Yep.
And he's been gone for a little while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because he lost his smile, and right before WrestleMania. No, right before Final Four. and then he's been gone since then. So it's been about 2 months that he's been away. Now here he comes, swinging a chair, and he's in the ring going after the Harts. So we have Shawn Michaels back, and he's saving the day for Austin.
Huge pop for him, too.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The more high-pitched screams from the audience whenever HBK shows up. What I thought was funny, too, is Owen Hart has his WWE jumpsuit on, like with the swishy pants and jacket, which is so 90s when everything was like... I don't even know what they're called, but I always call them swishy pants because they make the swishy sound. Yeah, and like a windbreaker windbreaker and windbreaker pants type deal.
It's like a '90s mobster.
yeah, exactly.
So Hart has his way with Austin throughout most of this match. He's kind of in control for the most part, just like the night before. Main thing going on here, for the reason why they're having this match, is because they want Austin to injure Bret Hart, because Bret Hart is going to have knee surgery. He has scheduled knee surgery that week, so make it kind of match with the storyline. Figured, well, let's have this match where Austin's going to hurt his knee, then we can say that he's out because Austin injured his knee, even though it wasn't because of Austin injuring his knee. It was just an injury that he had been putting off for a while. Surgery's been putting off. Mm-hmm. He planned to have it at this time. So that's going to give us the wheelchair-bound Bret Hart over the next few weeks.
Which I love.
I love it, too.
It makes him even more heelish, the fact that he was in the wheelchair just talking shit with his leg up the whole time.
Yep.
I remember that. I'm like, this is funny. Like, this is good. This is good shit.
And he just has his boys pushing him around. Bulldogs wheeling him around. Owen Hart.
But I mean, I actually kind of liked the match for what it was. But I think it's because so much happened with the Hart Foundation attack and Michaels coming from the save. It just kind of got you amped up. And the crowd seemed to love it too. Like most of the front row was standing on their feet and like they were really into it from the get-go. Even knowing now what the intent of the match was to not write Bret Hart off TV, but write an injury onto him, basically.
Yep.
Write him into an injured scenario. It worked, so.
Yep.
But then there's that chair to the knee by Stone Cold. You'll catch it when you watch the match. I don't know when it is exactly, but it looked and it sounded perfect.
Yeah, it sounded awesome.
Yeah, and it obviously Bret Hart sold the shit out of it perfectly.
Yep. Yeah, he's selling excellent throughout this match. Probably because he does have knee damage.
Yeah.
So he is hurt.
That's true.
Probably like, well, I'm going in for surgery, so it doesn't fucking matter anyway. Just keep hurting me. So,
make it count.
Yeah. So Austin, like you said, he eventually gets the sharpshooter on Bret Hart. And I just thought that was a great image, is having Austin having Hart in the sharpshooter. And he's pegging off the refs.
Yep.
Which you should be pegging them off because what the hell are you going to do for me? This is a no-holds-barred street fight. Hell out of here.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself. So the sharpshooter looks excellent. And the officials are going to try to break it up like we just talked about, which is kind of bullshit. And, then it all kind of falls apart from there. The Harts come out. We have a Donnybrook going on. And then, they go to commercial. Then we get back from commercial. Austin is doing some jaw-jacking with Gorilla Monsoon in the back. And he's saying, oh, you can't talk to me like that. And Gorilla's all in his face and kicks him out of the arena. Which I like that touch because we see that often now. But this is early on. I don't think many people ever got kicked out of the show. Like,
not that I recall.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
At
least not as frequently. So
right.
Nothing that stands out.
Yeah. So this would be the beginning of getting kicked out of the arena and knowing that they're going to come back. One thing I did find out about this episode that it's kind of a turning point in the history of WWF, WWE at this time is that this is the first episode that Vince Russo wrote.
No shit. I didn't know that.
This is the beginning of his writing for Raw. And we see, as you go through this episode, you see that it's written very well. It's written like an episode of a show. like a drama, where you have it all connected throughout the night. We don't often see that today. Kind of just see the different segments, and that's it. It doesn't carry on throughout the night oftentimes. So that was one of like trademark Russo writing styles, is that his story is going to connect throughout the whole episode,
which is
centered around one thing.
Which made perfect sense at the time, because at the time they're competing with Nitro, so you're trying to keep the viewers on your show so that they don't hit that last button and go switch back to Nitro. So
right, like if they're Austin fans, they're going to turn to Raw, they'll watch the Austin segment, be like, all right, that's
he's done for the
Austin.
night. Let's go to Nitro.
Exactly. So you make it a point to have them throughout the episode, so you never know when they're going to show up. So you can't change the channel. You have to keep on. You have to stay tuned. So they'll do that with Austin going forward. Even Vince McMahon will say things like, "Oh, Austin's going to be with us throughout the night," basically saying, "Don't go anywhere. Show up anytime."
Yep.
And it is great because he's kicked out of the arena, but we know he's going to come back. And Bret Hart's on a stretcher now because he's been, he got so injured by that sharpshooter and the chair shot to the knee. So they're putting him into an ambulance. Well, who do you think's in the front seat driving that baby? You got Stone Cold. Stone Cold's in the front. Then he goes right through, and then he starts attacking Bret Hart in the back. It's just a memorable moment there.
Yep.
It's kind of like a horror movie. I think of like Freddy Krueger. You think you're all safe and in the hospital, and then you turn around and it's Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Stone Cold.
Well, actually, when we get to it, there's another moment just like that. The Vince McMahon getting hit in the head with a bedpan.
Oh yeah.
And Austin's pretending to be a doctor, and then he turns around. And I'll take over from here, I think he says.
Yeah.
And Vince knows because he heard the voice. And he's like, oh, no. And then with the bedpan. So, yeah, it's kind of a similar type situation where, he's pretending to be something and then surprising his opponent or his rival. And if you want to check just that scene out, it's at the 37-minute mark. And it goes for about 2 minutes. And then, look again, Austin's still on the show later in the night. So during the second hour, towards the end of the second hour, at 1 hour and 22 minutes, Austin's going to have an interview with Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of building up to the Cold Day in Hell match. Because, they haven't really talked about it much. They mentioned at the beginning that he's going to have a match. But we're still seeing Austin feuding with Bret Hart. So, it's kind of a way to say, all right, you do have this other match coming up, so let's talk about that a little bit. So we're going to play the audio clip of that now, so take a listen.
Steve Austin, who will meet The Undertaker on May the 11th. And that's what we're supposed to talk about here.
This has been a pretty eventful 24 hours for you last night. You beat Bret Hart at his own game. After that, you were named the #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. You'll face The Undertaker in May for the title. You sent Bret Hart to the hospital. I guess you feel pretty good about yourself right about now, don't you?
Listen to these idiots.
I told the world that I would send Bret Hart straight back to Canada, and that's exactly what I did. The thing that gets me is I don't see why everybody's so happy, because none of you helped me do a damn thing. I did it by myself. You wave all your little signs, Austin 316, Stone Cold said so, whatever. And you with your little dimpled chin gets on national television and starts running compliments up the yin-yang because all of a sudden you want to jump on the Stone Cold bandwagon more than anybody in the world. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're right, McMahon's a hypocrite.
Tell you you're wrong.
Because you can't. and I will knock your ass out right here in front of the world.
Go ahead and knock him out. I like you again.
As far as I'm concerned, Bret the Hitman Hart is through and finished in the World Wrestling Federation in the world, period.
Don't bet on it.
It's 1 down and 2 to go. Bulldog and Owen Hart have hell to pay.
If I can just interject here.
Interject.
It just seems to me that you're going to have hell to pay when you face The Undertaker.
The Undertaker is going to have the coldest day in hell he could ever imagine in Virginia or wherever the hell it is.
Richmond, May 11th.
Say what you want because I really don't give a damn. You show up with all your little tombstones and all your little creatures of the night. But the most important thing I want you to do is bring your little golden belt and shine it up because you will hand it over to Steve Austin. Silence! I am the ruler of the world. You asked because you have to ask what's going to happen with Stone Cold as the World Wrestling Federation champion. If you think for one split second, son, that I'm going to be a good role model, you got another thing coming. That's all I got to say. That's the bottom.
Oh, wait a minute.
There you go.
Owen and Bulldog.
What I tell you?
My God, where'd they come from?
Go on,
Owen and
man,
Bulldog
over there.
attacking Austin. Owen and Bulldog, and they're like ravenous animals.
Yes.
They're looking for revenge for Bret Hart, who's at the hospital. Good God Almighty.
Pound him down. Hospitalize him.
Vince
Look at
McMahon.
McMahon. Look at McMahon.
Good. Come on. We'll get some officials down here. Get the security. Oh. Vince better get out of there.
Yeah.
The Hart Foundation, the tag champions. Wait a minute. There's Shawn Michaels with a chair. Shawn Michaels.
All right. So one thing that I love about that promo is, and Austin does this. He does a good job of doing this, which is trying to deflect the crowd being so into him. So what you just heard him say, he goes, "I don't know why you're so damn happy. You didn't do a damn thing. I did all this by myself. I did everything by myself." So I love that line. It's just like, why are you so happy? You guys didn't do shit. Shut up.
Yeah. It's like the people that are like, "That's my team. We went out there."
Right.
You know?
But imagine a team, though, being like, "Screw you, fans. We did all the work."
Tom Brady coming out or something.
Yeah.
Screw you, Gillette. You just did nothing. Thanks for the expensive beer purchases.
Right.
But no, like Vince is in full brown nose mode too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So-
Vince is on his bandwagon.
It's
He's
fun.
smiling.
Yeah. It's funny how the crowd doesn't know how to react when Stone Cold's dissing them. They don't really boo, but they don't really cheer. It's just like an awkward.
Right. They're like, oh.
Yeah, like what do we do here? And I don't know if you noticed, but there's a guy in the crowd. Because I'm always watching the crowd when this shit goes on. It's funny.
Yeah,
to
me too.
And there's a guy, a kid, a teenager. He's dressed like Taker as far as like the face markings, like his face is painted almost like Taker.
He has Austin 316 shirt on.
Yeah, and he has a Stone Cold shirt on too. I'm like, look at this guy.
He
No, who to
looked
pick?
nuts.
Yeah, he did look
He was going
crazy.
crazy.
And his friend behind him looked crazy. He had like that insane clown posse look. He had like these long bangs in front of his head. Just speaks to the times. It's good shit.
And he had the kid with all the makeup. He had like some weird top hat on too.
Did he? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a Taker hat, but he got like reach with that hat.
Yeah, so another funny moment is when Austin tells him he's going to knock his ass out. But just prior to that, it's like, oh, you and your dimple. And he puts his finger on his nipple.
Chin, yeah.
His chin nipple. Vince McMahon's like, what? What are you doing?
He calls Owen Hart Owen Hell.
Oh,
you caught that?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so he's like, he's talking about the Hart Foundation at some point. I forget what point during the interview. You hear it when you listen to it. And he's like, he meant to said Owen Hart, but he says Owen Hell because he gets like his, but he corrects himself. I just thought that was
a cold day in hell.
Yeah, funny little blooper.
Yeah. So it kind of wraps up when Austin's saying that Undertaker's going to have the coldest day in hell in Virginia or wherever the hell they are because he wasn't sure. JR was like, Richmond, Virginia, A11. Kind of say like, hey, this is where you're supposed to be, dumbass.
Calls himself the ruler of the world.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that's Sid's line.
Exactly. I'm the ruler of the world.
What are you doing?
Sid not even a good line.
That. No. It's the only line Sid knew.
Well, not just I'm the ruler of the world, it's I'm the master.
Master and ruler, that's right, yeah.
The master and the ruler of the world.
Like a campy B movie.
Yeah. So Austin's like basically saying, screw this role model. I'm not a role model. And I'm the ruler of the world. All that shit. Then out of nowhere, Owen and Bulldog come down and they attack Austin. And Vince is like bouncing around the ring.
Yeah, Owen like throws Vince.
Yeah, Owen tosses his ass down.
And Vince actually looks a little pissed, but he kind of regroups himself, gets up like pretty quickly.
Yep.
But
standing up, walking around. He trips over them again.
Yeah. I don't know, it's like Owen didn't realize it was Vince or just like lost sight of it.
Maybe.
Just so in the... But it makes sense. I mean, hey, you're a heel.
Right.
You're in his way. He's trying to get the hell out of the way.
Right. Shawn Michaels comes down again.
Yep.
And he's going to help Austin. And he's swinging around the chair, and you can see Vince crawling around like he doesn't know where to go, what spot to be in. So it's just funny. So when you watch that, just take a look at Vince the whole time. See him just like kind of creeping around, like out of position. So now that Shawn Michaels kind of clears house, you have Austin stuck in the ring now. Shawn Michaels goes away. But then Brian Pillman pops out. Brian Pillman's been gone for a while too. So we're getting the return of a few people here. You got Shawn Michaels coming back earlier. Now you have Brian Pillman coming back. And he's got his I Don't Call 911 shirt on that he seems to wear all the time. So he's coming out with the steel chair also. And he pegs off Austin. And he's got these hideous tie-dye pants on.
Dude, they are horrendous. Those things are awful.
So he starts to set up for the Pillmanizer. So he's going to try to get some payback for what Austin did to his leg. And then Shawn Michaels comes back again. So he runs back out, puts an end to that. And that kind of concludes Raw. So, great episode of Raw. Good storytelling throughout. And we get the start of a build to the Undertaker match that we'll be covering at the end of this episode. And also the continuation of Austin's Hart feud. Hart Foundation feud now.
Yeah,
and I mean... More than just the Hitman.
And props to Vince Russo. I did not know this was the first episode of Raw he wrote. And he did a stand-up job. Because I watched most of this episode or rewatched most of this episode. I mean, I watched it at the time too. But, just a great ending to a great Raw. It started off hot and ended hot.
Yeah.
And they had their biggest stars front and center to start the show and front and center to end the show. No doubt about it.
Right. A good episode. And the good episodes are going to continue on throughout. They're all pretty solid after that, going forward. And it brings us to the next week on April 28th. You have Raw 207. It's going to start off with a Brian Pillman promo. All right, so Brian Pillman just made his return at the end of the previous week's episode, and now he's out there again. Starting off the show, he comes out with his ring entrance music for the first time, which is kind of shitty, in my opinion.
No, it does. It sucks. Because I noticed that. I'm like, wow, this entrance music is terrible. This is crap.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was the actual entrance music he had. I can't remember what his music was, but I don't remember it being that. So I don't know if like the network just put in some music,
some like generic music. It sucked.
Yeah, 'cause it doesn't sound right either.
No, it doesn't fit
like
him.
Right. It sounds like it's covering up something else. So who knows? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just making that up. So Pillman's getting booed as he comes out, and he's doing this like religious act.
I love it.
Which, yeah,
I love this promo. I thought it was good. Thought it was gold.
So he's basically saying that Bret Hart is the savior, and everybody needs to pray to Bret Hart and the hope for Bret Hart to, have a quick recovery, and then Austin will interrupt, which is good timing too. And he says, "You better pray I don't beat the hell out of you." And Bret Hart won't save your ass. So Pillman just says he's going to turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
But he turns around and he bends his ass over.
Yeah, what he says is, he says because he starts quoting like some biblical type verses during his during this promo here, which is good, which works well. One thing I've always liked about Pillman in his promos is the raspy voice he has. Always worked well for him. He always made great use of that, and he's overselling this whole and being overly dramatic. The whole promo here. He's got his hand in the air, doing like a Joel Osteen. Is that guy's name? The religious dude?
Yeah.
Type impersonation there. He's having nightmares and sleepless nights over everything that's been happening. And he wants the complete annihilation and destruction of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So he quotes like an eye for an eye and turn the other cheek. And that's when he turns and shows, well, he doesn't show his butt, but he aims his ass towards the Titantron. Yeah. Which Austin's at, so.
Yeah, and Austin's not too happy about that.
Yeah.
So the crowd starts chanting for Austin.
Yep.
Austin does come down the ramp. But then Bulldog and Owen creep up from behind him, so Austin just runs and jumps the guardrail, goes into the crowd. And Lawler and JR are saying, "Oh, it was a setup. It was a setup all along." So Austin gets the hell out of there. He goes into the back. He breaks off the... he grabs an axe, and he breaks off the blade of it.
The most important part of an axe.
Right. So he just walks around with the axe handle. So he has an axe handle. He's walking around the back. And then his music comes out again. He comes out and his music plays. Which I always think is funny. When these guys come out, it should be a surprise. Right?
Yeah.
It should be running out, surprising whoever's out there. Not playing the music to give the person a heads up. Oh, shit, they're coming.
They always tell the entrance guy, "Hey, I'm running out right now. Play my music."
Yeah,
they always got the inside. They always got the inside news on it.
Yeah, I'm about to come out. Play my music.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I wanted to say about the Pillman promo here, not to get overly talk about it, but I think this was a really good promo, and he has the part where he's like, "A family that prays together stays together." Yeah. And all the foundation gets on their one knee and prays together. I just think that was gold. That was classic.
Yeah, it's funny.
But the axe handle part, I don't know. You got all those guys in the ring, and they're scared of Stone Cold with an axe handle. Not like an aluminum baseball bat. I have an axe. I have two axes. And it's it's just a piece of wood without the actual axe. It's really not much. So they're all running away. It's
Yeah. Could have just had a baseball bat.
Yeah, maybe they didn't know. Yeah. But or she just could have kept the axe on, but I get it,
Yeah.
After the whole gun incident a few months back, they're probably a little sensitive to getting too violent. Yeah, right. The weapons.
You can't have an axe. You can have an axe handle.
But I think I know what you're coming with next. What do you think about a quote Stone Cold has at the end? It says, "You can give your soul away. You better find someone to give your soul away because your ass is mine."
Oh, your ass is mine.
Yeah.
Yep. That's good. So basically, that ends that little segment. Vince McMahon even says, this is where he actually says, Austin will be with us throughout the evening. Just to give people a heads up that he's not gone. He's going to be popping in and out the whole episode. And they say that Bret Hart will be arriving in a little while. So It's like 10 minutes later. He shows up. He has an interview with Vince McMahon. He's in his wheelchair. He just recently had knee surgery. They even show a little video clip of the knee surgery. So we know it's legit. It was legit, but it just, it wasn't because of Steve Austin. It was planned all along. So he had his surgery. Now he's in his wheelchair. And as we were saying before, he just looks even more heelish sitting in this wheelchair. It reminds me of, I don't know if you ever watched It's a Wonderful Life. Most people have, or most people know what the movie is, the Christmas movie. Main villain, Mr. Potter, he sits in a wheelchair, and he's just like this big, crabby asshole in a wheelchair. That's what Bret Hart kind of reminds me of, being in his wheelchair, complaining.
You know who he reminds me of in hindsight? But because the movie wasn't out at the time. That movie Unbreakable with Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson's in the wheelchair. Like a villain. I don't know.
Yep.
I thought about that when I was watching. I don't know why this is coming to mind, but it reminds me of Samuel Jackson as Mr. Glass in Invincible.
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
And they're making a sequel of that. It's coming out soon.
Yeah, it looks good. It's like a combination of 3 different movies. The movie like James McAvoy, who I think he's a really good actor. Samuel Jackson as Mr. Glass and Bruce Willis as Unbreakable. That movie looks dope. I don't even know if it might have come out already.
I think it's out. I see commercials on TV now, so probably out.
Yeah, I'll catch that when it comes out.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, put someone in a wheelchair that's angry and bitter. Play a hell of a villain.
Yeah, exactly. So he's still on his whole hyena thing here. Austin's calling, Hart's calling Austin, rotten hyena. And the more I've watched this over these weeks that he's using this phrase, this terminology, I think you may have watched a little bit too much Lion King with his kids recently before he had these promos. He's referring to a lion, and the hyenas are getting the lion, just like in the movie.
And where else did you hear hyenas? I don't think I even knew what a hyena was before Lion King came out.
Into that. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg as a hyena.
That's right, Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, jeez. The dark times of the 90s.
Who the hell was the crazy one, though? There was was it Steve Buscemi?
Probably.
Maybe Steve Buscemi with the crazy eyes.
Yeah. They made him look like him.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
So he's on this whole thing here. The American fans are just a pack of rotten hyenas.
Yeah.
American wrestling fans are a disgrace. And I said this last week, or I said it in the special edition that's coming out later this week, that he does a good thing with making sure that he says American wrestling fans, and not just Americans.
Though sometimes he does take shots at Americans in general. Yeah. Because he does it in this promo. He says he takes shots at USA in general, how about they're always gloating to being the best.
Yep.
And how other countries don't like that about them, like how it's annoying to other countries. And that's why the U.S. finds him annoying, because he's always gloating about being the best, because he's the excellent best there is, best there was, and best there ever will be.
Yeah.
But no, you're right, though. He definitely does his best, like 90% of the time, to make a point to say American wrestling fans.
Right.
Than just Americans in general. Yeah. Because Bret's mother is American.
Right. I think he says it right in this interview.
He points it out.
He's like, yeah, you can chant USA all you want. USA.
My mom's American.
My mom's American, too. So that's pretty much the gist of that interview with Bret Hart. It's definitely worth checking out. So if you're going to check that out, it's at 23 minutes, 30 seconds. It goes for about 7 minutes. So check that out. Some hyena action, Lion King storytelling, shitting on the American fans, which is like his main thing over the course of the summer. So it's really starting up here in last week, where he starts to get into that character of being the anti-American, pro-Canadian. I think maybe he doesn't say it in this episode, but he says it soon, where he says, I don't hate America, I'm just really pro-Canadian.
The nationalist.
Yeah. So that clears that segment up there. So you have Austin now. He's just stalking the backstage. They're just showing him as, again, a little reminder, like, there he is. Don't go anywhere. Could be back right after this commercial break. So the show basically is revolving around him. So they go to commercial break, and there's a series of commercials. There's this new campaign that they have going on called Reality Check. And it's just a bunch of different commercials, like testimonials of family members talking about somebody in their family and how they changed.
Like they're addicted to wrestling, in a sense.
Right, they're addicted to wrestling, and they had an attitude adjustment. So this first one, and I have notes on all of these because they're just so funny. They're quick and funny. So check these out. This first one is an old man, and his daughter or son, whatever, is saying that he's been losing his mind. So he comes out, and it's this old man, and he's dressed up as Vader. He has the Vader mask on, and he's just doing the Vader moves, sticking out the hands with the V's.
It looks like Blue from Old School.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, he has like a regular t-shirt on tucked into his pants, or like into his underwear. And then he's Mankind, and he's trying to put the mandible claw on his daughter who's holding a baby. Probably scared as shit. But there's a few of those, so as they come up, I'll just bring them up. There's a few others, the weeks to come, where it's like there's a Stone Cold one. Did you see the Stone Cold one yet?
No, not yet.
No, so it's in one of the next couple episodes.
I saw this Vader and Mankind one though, because the one of the son-in-law or son that's sitting with the girl and the baby, he looks like Christopher Reeves as Clark Kent from the Superman movies. He looks just like him. I'm like, look at this guy. Yeah. Like the mix of that and like Phil Hellmuth, if you remember who Phil Hellmuth. Not Phil Hellmuth. The guy from Tom Green. Tom Green's host there.
Oh. Shit, what's his name?
Glenn Humpberger?
Yeah, Glenn Humple something.
Humple-Nick or something? Yeah.
Not Bam Bam Bigelow's manager.
No. What the hell is his name? Tom Green's
I'm gonna look
co-host there. Yeah, do it.
The hell was his name? This is the Tom Green Show. It's not the Green Tom Show. Glenn Humplick.
Yeah,
Glenn
so I was close. I think that's what I said.
I think you said like Humplick.
Yeah, I did. I said like Humpeldink. Yeah.
Yeah, Glenn Humplick.
Yeah.
1994 to 1996. Tom Green Show was already done by this?
Damn.
Point? Wow.
Time flies.
All right. So back to the action. Side note action, not related to Austin, but kind of pertains to the storyline with the Hart Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
You have Owen Hart defeating Rocky Maivia, clean, becoming the Intercontinental Champion. So that was a nice clean victory, a roll-up pin, and the gold is on the Hart. So it looks basically like they want to just put all the titles on the Hart Foundation.
And this is when The Rock's career was crashing. Well, it looked like it.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't in a good spot on TV, at least.
No, not at all. And it's going to turn around soon for him once he turns heel, joins the Nation.
Yeah, because he goes on a little losing streak here. I think in the next Raw that we'll cover next, I think he loses to Mankind.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, which was a good match. I watched that.
So that ends the first hour of this episode. And then they kick off hour 2. And I like how they kick off the hours as if it's like a whole new episode. They just start over again. They play the opening. They do the crowd shot. They set off all the pyro again. And it's great because, it just creates more excitement.
Yep.
Keep the crowd into it. So nice little touch they did there. They don't do that anymore. Now they just roll on, for 3 hours straight. Just, nothing seems important. Nothing seems too special. They don't even have pyro anymore.
No, they cut back on that.
Yep. It was nice to see the pyro, though, at Crown Jewel. And that just looks like a spectacle. Well, anyway. All right, so in the beginning of this hour, you have Steve Austin. He's going to do an in-ring interview. And he's going to kick Vince McMahon out, or JR out, whoever it is. And he's going to sit in a wheelchair. So we're going to play you that now. So take a listen.
Stone Cold Steve Austin!
he be the next WWF champion?
Wait a minute, what's he doing? Down in among all of these idiots.
Austin coming right through the crowd to the ring. And again on May the 11th on pay-per-view, Steve Austin is bringing a wheelchair and that axe handle to the ring as a date with The Undertaker. And I'm not so sure that Austin's mind is on the WWF champion or a cold day in hell as we speak.
What's he trying to prove, Ross?
That's one of the best interviews McMahon's done in months.
Who wants to see a wheelchair match? All you got to do, Bret Hart, is wheel your little carcass down here, and I promise you, you have my word that I'll sit here and fight you wheel to wheel. I take that back. I ain't gonna promise that because I'm a lying SOB. I'd come out of this wheelchair, stomp a mud hole in your ass, and walk it dry. This whole thing, every single one of you Harts, Brian Pillman, the whole thing is designed because the last thing you want to see is Stone Cold Steve Austin as the World Wrestling Federation champion. You talk about my people. I look in the mirror each and every day and see my people. On May the 11th, The Undertaker, you will indeed see the coldest day in hell. Because come hell or high water, 4, 5, 10, 15, or 20 Harts, I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna whip The Undertaker's ass. You're looking at the next WWF champion, and that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold says so.
Hey, Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know that ambulance that I rode in tonight? Well, before the night is through, you will be riding in it all busted up in pieces, and that's the bottom line.
If anybody's going in the ambulance, it's every one of your asses.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so you have Austin. He's in his wheelchair. He's challenging Bret Hart. It's like, who wants to see a wheelchair match? And what I like is he's like, oh yeah, I'll stay in my chair. He's like, oh no, never mind. I'm a lying SOB.
Yeah.
I'll stomp a mud hole and walk it dry. And that's the first time that Austin uses that phrase. JR had used it a couple months back.
Yeah, because we heard it. Yeah, we covered it in a prior episode.
Yeah, we talked about how JR mentioned it. Eventually, Austin will use it. Well, here it is. Austin's using it for the first time in this interview. And one of the other great lines, I don't know if you picked up on it, but I loved it, is he says, you talk about my people as if, like, the fans are, his supporters and such. Austin, again, another little dig at the audience. He says, you talk about my people out here. I look in the mirror every day and see my people.
Which goes with his Lona persona in a sense. I don't need nobody to help me. I do me.
He points out that he's going to be the next WWF champion. You're looking at the next WWF champion. The Undertaker's going to have the coldest day in hell. All right, so it's good that they're actually starting to build up that match too. So we don't forget about it and just think it's all about the Harts. We are getting to that event soon. It's only 2 weeks away at this point. So they got to start building up a little bit here. And Bret gets on the Titantron towards the end there, as you just heard. And Bret is going to threaten Austin and say, you're going to end up in the ambulance tonight. And you don't think anything of it at the time. It just sounds like banter. But, that's a major storyline plot. So more good writing from Vince Russo that he's just kind of setting the seeds for what's to come in the episode. All right, so go to another clip. I don't know, JV, do you even want to play this clip?
Which
The
one?
Undertaker.
Undertaker promo build-up to the In Your House match?
It's literally like 30 seconds.
No, it's bad.
Yeah, it sucks. I put it on our notes just to, potentially, because we're trying to build up to that match.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nothing good.
No, it's filler.
Yeah.
It's filler. Is this and this is the promo where he doesn't even the first part of the promo they ask him about Mankind, right? And how he burnt Mankind's face with the fire spot or whatever. Yep. No. Taker's promos are just freaking rough.
Yeah, they're lame.
Rough. I mean, I love Taker. He's great, which is nuts to consider how great he is. And some of his promos are just especially at this time, are just whoo.
Yeah,
yikes.
This time period. It's not until a little later, maybe later in this year than the following year, where his promos get a little better because he's more of himself. He's not this dead man as much, So he kind of gets a personality. Other than just being rest in peace.
Yeah, when Kane comes around and stuff, and they have to start,
Yeah.
There's a little bit more of a storytelling aspect. That's when I think he really kind of builds his chops as a
promo.
As a speaker.
Yeah, and that's coming soon. I'm actually in the middle of watching some of that stuff now, getting ready for our future episodes around SummerSlam time.
Yeah, but not much to see. I mean, basic filler. So I don't think we can air it. But if they want to, listeners want to check it out.
Yeah, if you want to listen to it, it's at the 1 hour 17-minute mark, and again, it's only 20 to 30 seconds long.
Yeah, it's 26 seconds long.
Yeah. And from there, Undertaker has a match with the British Bulldog, and this pertains to Austin because everyone's going to get involved in this match. It's a Bulldog, and Undertaker has a match coming up with Austin, so it all works in there. And it's going to be a DQ match, okay? Nothing special as a match. It's kind of just getting us to what we need to for this episode. And Owen Hart interferes, leads to DQ. Austin's going to come from the crowd to help The Undertaker. But Austin grabs the WWF Championship and raises it above his head. And then he throws it down, slams it at Undertaker's feet. And then he gives Undertaker the stunner. And also gives him the double birds right in his face, right over him. And then Undertaker grabs him up and gives him a choke slam. So good action there to build up. So it kind of looks like they have some heat with each other. Because up to this point, it's just, you're having a match because you beat Bret Hart. Well, what's the story between the two of you? It wasn't anything. So this is a good way to just kind of build some heat for this match so that, it seems like that they want to fight each other.
Yeah, I mean, because from this perspective, it still looks like Bret Hart and Austin are. You might think they're the title match in your house coming up.
Right. Although, Bret Hart's in a wheelchair.
Right, exactly.
So Austin rolls out of the ring after that choke slam. Then he looks and he notices that Bret Hart is in the wheelchair at the top of the ramp, and he's kind of just sitting there. It does seem fishy that he's just sitting there and he's not, running away or wheeling away. And so Austin goes up there, and then out of nowhere, from behind, we get Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Jim the Anvil Neidhart making his return to the WWF, and he attacks Austin. Bret Hart will say that Neidhart saved his life.
So good.
And then Bret Hart whacks Austin with his crutch, and pushes him off the stage. So now Austin's injured, and Austin's going to be carried out on a stretcher. Okay, just like Bret Hart had promised earlier in the episode that he would be off in the stretcher. And then at the end of the episode, the very end, they show Pillman has his head down. Yeah. And then he lifts his head and he has a big smile.
So good.
So it's basically saying, my prayers came true.
Yep.
right at the end. It's kind of hokey, but
I don't know.
works.
It worked, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it started the episode off with the praying, and we need this to happen, and we want Austin to be pay for what he did to Bret Hart, and then he ultimately does. So Pillman comes off looking like my master plan came true.
Storytelling coming full circle.
Yeah,
One episode.
And again, another episode where the storytelling is throughout, and there's a start, there's a middle, and there's a finish to it. And then that leads us to the next week, which is the go home episode prior to the Cold Day in Hell pay-per-view. This is Raw 208 from May 5th, 1997.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, that's right. Cinco de Mayo. Coming live from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I wonder how Cinco de Mayo was in Wisconsin that day. Probably nobody celebrates it there.
No.
Well, maybe, they have cheese, so maybe they had some quesadillas.
Fresh cheese quesadillas.
So one thing I did notice about the episodes is that they start to put in the opening of the episode, they kind of go back to what happened the previous week, which is always a great touch to do. When you're telling a story, is to remind people what last week was.
Yep.
And what they do with it, they'll put the timestamp. So they have the event, and it'll be like, this was 8:57 p.m. It kind of makes it feel like it's important news. It's groundbreaking. Oh, this happened at that time. So just a little thing that they're experimenting with. I thought, cool, to just show the times that these things were happening. So the show's going to start off. It's going to be the Hart Foundation. So this is the first time that the Hart Foundation that we'll come to know is kind of complete as a group. You have Owen Hart, Bret Hart, Davey Boy, Brian Pillman, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, all together as one group, the Hart Foundation. So this promo starts at 4 minutes, 44 seconds, goes until about 13 minutes. And Bret Hart's in the wheelchair. He's the same kind of thing that he's been doing over the last couple of weeks. Just kind of attacking the American wrestling fans and, talking about how he's not happy with everything and how he's the king. So this is more of that Lion King shit. Bret's talking about how he's the king of the lions, and the lions are being attacked by rotten hyenas.
Stone Cold, a great American scum.
Yep.
I like how they talk about the gold. So Owen's carrying all the gold.
Oh, yeah.
Down to the ring, the titles, the slammies, proclaiming that they're the winners. That's what winners do. And they say even Anvil's got gold in his teeth. I assume he has like gold caps or something in his teeth. And then Pillman has another good little Zinga line. He says, and don't forget the golden rule, because now they're on the topic of gold. Do unto others and enjoy it. And then he has his evil raspy laugh.
There's another little spot where Pillman is holding one of the crutches, and he pretends that it's a shotgun in his mouth and blows it up.
Really? I didn't catch it. How did I miss that? Yep. No kidding.
Yeah, Bret Hart. I think Bret Hart's talking, and he's just doing shit on the side. And he has the crutch, the other side of it, the bottom.
Yeah.
He has it pointed up at his mouth, and then, steps on it like he's hitting.
Yeah, pulling the trigger or whatever.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it doesn't age well. It's like, wow, that's fucked up to do. So that's in there. Bret Hart. Now, with all these promos, we're going to hear a lot of Bret Hart promos. This one thing that he says that, I always remember him saying. He always starts off with, first of all.
Yeah.
First of all.
And you know who else does that? Because there are two wrestlers that come to mind whenever I hear first of all. Bret Hart's one of them. You know who the other is?
Who?
Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash.
When he came back to after WCW, he probably did it a lot in WCW, but I just don't remember. But I remember when he came back and he was feuding with Punk.
Yep.
All of his promos started with, first of all, in his dumb voice. I did not like him then with his, shaky knees.
Big Daddy cool.
Yeah, Big Daddy not cool anymore. Retire. Kevin Nash. But these are the two wrestlers I always think of when I hear first of all. It's Bret Hart first, and then Diesel. It's Kevin Nash, whatever whatever the hell you want to call him.
So Bret Hart in this role growing on me now, but at the time, watching this back in 1997, I thought Hart was just so annoying and just being a baby, which is the whole point. So obviously I got worked, and Bret Hart did a damn good job, in that role.
See, when I was
appreciate it now.
When I was a teenager watching this, I remember appreciating, like, enjoying Bret Hart's entertainment value in this, like thinking like, oh, this is funny, like this is good, like how butthurt he was and the Hart Foundation's back together. But I was a bigger Stone Cold fan, but I still liked Bret Hart because eventually, Bret Hart ends up feuding with HBK, and because I thought Bret Hart was so good during this little heel run, and he's still a heel technically when he's wrestling HBK, I guess. I was Team Bret Hart. Like, I was more pro Bret Hart than HBK, and HBK was the face. So I think around this time I kind of hit that point as a fan where I just wanted to root for all the bad guys.
Yep.
But
even still at that point, Shawn Michaels is kind of like a heel, a good guy heel.
Yeah, he's like he's like a
just
like
an
anti-hero type.
Yeah.
Not as Stone Cold, like vicious as Stone Cold was, but just more of a cocky, like wise ass,
Yeah. So, move on to the next segment. We have Shawn Michaels is going to do a promo. And we only mention because a few things get brought up here that's important. So, basically, Shawn Michaels is saying that he's going to return to action next month in June at the King of the Ring. He's going to be in Providence, Rhode Island. But I had talked about something a little while ago, a couple episodes back, where Shawn Michaels says, Bret Hart, you don't like the fact that, in our country, somebody like Homer Simpson can become an icon. So then Bret Hart comes out, and the first thing he says, I can deal with you making fun of me, but don't make fun of the Simpsons. Bret Hart had that working relationship with the Simpsons. He was on a couple episodes.
With Fox in general, really.
Yeah.
He was on Mad TV, and...
Yep.
He sells he calls America a sick, violent society. Oh no, we're on to the HBK promo.
Yeah, on HBK.
Yeah.
But Shawn Michaels, ever since he's come back, so he's just back for a couple weeks now. But he has this cocky attitude now. Much different than how he was when we saw him last. When he lost his smile.
Sad as shit.
Yeah, he was like a big time baby face too. Now he's got a little edge to him.
He's got his swag back.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you were just crying in the ring. Now you're like a badass, cocky dude. So, it looks like they're building up to a Hart Michaels match already at this point. And, that's going to be changed. It doesn't happen for a while. It's not going to be until Survivor Series. And Shawn Michaels, at that point, is totally different Shawn Michaels than he is right here. So, DX hasn't even started yet at this point.
Yeah, he's cocky during this promo, but he's also trying to play the face in a sense. He's still aware of where he is with Bret Hart, I guess from a fan perspective, because he makes a point. He's like, I don't follow trends, I start them. So basically, and he's speaking to the point of him coming out now to stick up for the WWE fans and say good things about them, since apparently the cool thing is to not say good things about them, which Stone Cold does.
Yep.
And Bret Hart's doing is they kind of both of them kind of hate on the fans.
Right, yeah. So that's one of the first things he says is that somebody has to kiss up to the crowd.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, then McMahon's all giddy and smiling about it.
Yeah, he's super happy that he looks genuine too. I don't even know if he's acting. He looks like
I don't know.
He's on cloud 9 with HBK back.
I'll be surprised if McMahon and Shawn Michaels had a little relationship going on.
I doubt it. I think Vince is 100% ladies' man.
I don't know. At this time, he doesn't seem like it.
You think he's just like, money, please, we got to beat WCW. You got your back,
Yeah, that's probably it.
It was funny, though, because he does. He's very giddy about his moneymakers at this time.
Yep.
Like, these are his prize fighters. HBK, Bret Hart, and Stone Cold are his prize fighters, even though he almost seems reluctant with Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I mean, we obviously know how that
he's-
relationship ends up, but
Well, at that point, they're still in negotiations of what
contract.
he's going to do.
Yeah. Yep.
Is he coming back or not? Just a couple of months ago, Bret Hart had that interview, or that segment where he said he was going to come back.
Yep.
It was for Survivor Series. And Bret Hart was like, McMahon was like, phew, thank you. Bret Hart's back. So yeah, just a couple things with the Shawn Michaels interview is that he's talking about the Click.
Yep.
And even McMahon says, when Shawn Michaels gonna wrestle for the Click again? And all I'm thinking is Shawn Michaels referring to the Click as in Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. I think that's what he was referring to when he says, we're the most powerful group in wrestling, believe me when I tell you.
Well,
I think that's kind of like an inside joke.
Yeah.
Where Nash and Hall hear it. Their group is the strongest in all of wrestling. And McMahon just probably assumes that he's talking about his fan base. He used to call his fan base the Click.
I almost get the hint that I think Shawn Michaels almost gets a hint from Vince McMahon on how he should be positioning the Click. Like maybe Vince wasn't happy because he does, towards the end of a reference in the Click, he refers to them as the Click's a herd. Like we travel as a herd. So I'm like, I think he's kind of trying to correct himself because you're right. I think when he's first bringing up the Click, we know who the frick he's really talking about.
Right.
But towards the end, he starts referring to her, and it's like he's trying to correct himself and like get on the same page as Vince because Vince is trying to push the Click as one type of like narrative as like the fans, and Michaels is like, no, this is what my Click is. We know who his Click is.
Right, so when Vince
funny.
says, when you're going to wrestle for the Click again, McMahon definitely talking about the fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like correcting him.
Yep.
You want to end up like Triple H?
So Austin's going to have a match with the British Bulldog, but before we get to that, I just want to mention a couple of side notes that happened on the Raw. A couple of things. They have Sonny's coming out, and at this time they were advertising the Austin 316 shirts, and Sonny comes out wearing it, and then Lawler, what Lawler says to McMahon is, you know where that shirt would look good, McMahon? Where? My bedroom floor. Man, stuff he could say.
Lawler had some of the best lines.
Oh yeah.
When Lawler could be pervert Lawler, that's when he was primo.
I loved it.
Like recently when he was been in there, like say like over the past 10 years, probably even more longer than that.
Yep.
I don't know. It's like a very watered down version of Lawler that we got in the Attitude Era. Because he probably doesn't get enough credit for the Attitude Era as far as being like one of the voices of the Attitude Era. Like JR does.
Yeah.
But Lawler kind of gets overlooked, and man, the Lawlerisms, as I'll call them, were great.
Yeah, just the big pervert shit.
Yeah, puppies. Remember how happy he got?
Yeah, the puppies.
I got happy. He was like, yeah, everyone's happy now. It's puppies.
All right, so let's get to that main event match. It's Steve Austin versus British Bulldog, 1 hour and 16 minutes to 1 hour and 26 minutes. So this match kind of had been on the build for a while because we had a lot of issues with the Bulldog and Austin throughout '96, throughout like October, November. Bulldog had been interfering in some of his matches, and they never had a match. But here they are, finally having it now, months later, and it's a decent match. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. Yeah. I did. First thing I noticed was that Bulldog doesn't come out to his own music, and he may not have been at this time. I forget, but he's definitely coming out to the Hart Foundation music.
Yeah. For
this particular match, so.
Yeah, he had been coming out to his own music, but now I think they made the switch to everyone's just going to use the Hart
Foundation. All right, to kind of the stable.
Right. So he had a decent match. Austin's going to hit a stunner and get a pinfall victory. But then the Hart Foundation's going to come down, and you got the Legion of Doom. Legion of Doom's back.
Who lost, I'm pretty sure, earlier in the episode to, was that Furnace and... the hell are those guys'
Furnace and LaFon.
Yeah, that tag team. They lost clean to him, I think, too.
Yeah. So LLD, they run in, they help Austin. And then you have Owen Hart. Owen Hart had stolen Undertaker's title. There was a little side story going on that Undertaker's belt was missing, and he was pissed. He thought it was Austin, but happened to be Owen Hart.
Shitty champ. How you lose the belt?
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Wear that damn thing.
Yeah.
Underneath your jacket.
Yeah, underneath your jacket. We'll get into that.
Yeah. So Michaels and Undertaker hit the ring. The Harts run away. And, it's kind of just, you have a little showdown now between Austin and Undertaker. So Austin's holding the belt now. Taker rips it out of Austin's hands. Okay. Undertaker lays it down at his feet. And then they start to go at it, which is good because it's a go home. So the final moments of the show is, the build to the main event for the upcoming pay-per-view, Cold Day in Hell. So Austin and Taker are battling up until the show goes off the air. So that brings us now to the main event, In Your House, Cold Day in Hell from May 11th, 1997. And you have the In Your House set is back in use, the full set. So this venue apparently had enough room for it. Whereas last month at Revenge of Taker, they only had room for the garage.
Yeah.
Now you have the front door and the window with the TV screen, or the big screen. So before this match gets started, Austin's going to do a little promo. So we'll have you guys listen to that now. That's from the 1 hour, 16-minute mark. So take a listen to Austin with his pre-match promo.
Cold Steve Austin, your battle for the World Wrestling Federation title against The Undertaker just moments away, and JR alluding to those 5 seats the Hart Foundation will be in.
I don't give a damn about 5 empty seats, because all that means is that the Hart family is going to be that much closer to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And after I whip The Undertaker's ass, I'll take all 5 of them and send all 5 of them straight back to Calgary in a bunch of wheelchairs. I don't know if The Undertaker's checked the weather lately, but I'll be damned if hell ain't about to freeze over, and that's the bottom line.
Let's take a look at the Stone Cold Stunner, if you would. Steve Austin is already making his way to ringside, but as you can see, his confrontation with The Undertaker 2 weeks ago on Raw is war. Gives him the knee to the midsection. There it is, the Stone Cold Stunner. Will The Undertaker be able to recover from that tonight if it's hit by Stone Cold Steve Austin? You can see the taunting going on by Stone Cold. He is ready. The Undertaker did recover there. What's it going to be like? Bam! Tombstone pile driver right there. Which move will come out on top tonight? The World Wrestling Federation title on the line.
Okay, so basically Austin's saying that he'll kick all the Hart Foundation's asses. They happen to have 5 seats front row that they're going to sit. They're going to take their seats at the beginning of this match. So they're not going to get kicked out like they did last month. Gorilla Monsoon sent them all to the back. Now they get to be there. They got front row seats. So Austin's just basically saying he'll kick their ass, kick everyone's ass. And then they go into a little recap of what happened with Undertaker and the Tombstone, at the final moments of the previous Raw. All right, so now it gets to the match. And this Friday, coming up this Friday, JV and I have a special edition watch-along for this match, Steve Austin versus Undertaker. Okay, it was our first poll. Okay, we took a poll for the four upcoming episodes, the matches, which would be The Undertaker versus Austin from this event. And then you had the other options were King of the Ring match between Shawn Michaels and Austin. Then the Canadian Stampede match from July. Then in August, the Owen Hart broken neck pay-per-view match. So, looks like this one won. Undertaker won with a big percentage, like 41%, and over 80 people voting total. So, good chunk of people wanting to hear this match. So, this Friday, you'll hear it. It's good. It's entertaining. It's we do our best with what we have given us.
The troll poll.
Yeah,
it's like what if I think 4chan got a hold of our poll.
So, of the 4, this is definitely not the best of the 4 matches.
I would assume it's not.
Yeah. We watched it. We watched along, and that's coming out Friday. So take a listen to that, for more details and watch the match along with us. And I do have to tell you up front that this is not one of the best matches. It's okay for what it is, but it's definitely some sloppy spots.
Yeah, I mean, considering the lack of build their feud really got,
That's
I mean,
true.
I don't know. They probably they didn't really have much to work with from a storyline perspective. This might have well just been like a random championship match on any Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So, I kind of, in hindsight, I feel like I was a little harsh on it when you listen to the special edition, but it is what it is. It's not a good match. It's not a good match by any means, in my opinion.
And still, even though it's Undertaker versus Austin, you have the Hart Foundation at ringside, so we still see what the real story is.
Yep.
It's Austin and the Hart Foundation still.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
And this match ultimately is going to end up being, the Undertaker's going to win, but it's because of the Hart Foundation that cost Austin the title, basically.
Yep.
So, just puts more fuel to the fire by costing Austin the title. So now the stakes are even higher. Cost me the WWF Championship, sons of bitches. So, it's a good little touch. So this match, while might not have been, the best worked match, it was good for the story they're telling.
Yeah, the main story that WWF is pushing at this time, which is Bret Hart and Stone Cold. So this does do that's a good point. Another good point you made there. It does, do justice there and kind of escalate in that feud even further, and kind of leaves Taker unscathed. So
yeah, and so this match starts at 1 hour 18 minutes 18 seconds, goes until the end of the show. Okay, so about 20-minute match, and this is Austin's first one-on-one title shot. So that's of note there, noteworthy. And we even see Austin for President sign. Those are some of the lamest signs.
Yeah.
For President. Like, what do you mean for President? President of what? Now, I wrote something down. I don't know if Lawler said this or if I said it. I can't remember now. But it seems like Lawler may have said it. But I think when I was writing these notes, I thought of it myself. And it's a dad joke. It's a bad joke. So, either I made it up and whatever. But it's imagine if Austin ran the country, the national bird would be the finger.
I don't know. That sounds more you than Lawler. It's funny though. It's funny its own corny dad joke way, but
yeah. So you have the Harts out there. Austin and Undertaker get this match started, and just kind of slow-paced match. We do see some pinfalls early, which I especially like because you're trying to win a match. So just try to get a pinfall whenever you have an opportunity. Maybe you'll get it. Just from a storyline point of view, they should be trying to get the win. And then we go into a spot where there's a rest hold for like 4 minutes. You just have Undertaker in a headlock, essentially. Austin has Undertaker in a headlock for a while. And then they really start to get on the working the knee. Austin's going to work on Taker's lower body. And you just kind of trading some technical moves. And we see Undertaker do some things that he's never done before. And it looks like he's never done them before.
Yeah, it does. He looks so noob on a lot of just a very green wrestler on some stuff. Like, why? The fact they went to the mat as much as they did is shocking.
Yeah. I mean, the story is they both have injured knees. So I guess it kind of makes sense that they'd be working on each other's knees. But definitely not what I thought of when you hear Undertaker versus Steve Austin. You don't think it's going to be a technical match. You go in thinking it's going to be a big brawl. But a lot of the time is focused on working the knee. So the Undertaker focuses on Austin's knee. He uses that half Boston Crab that JV loves so much.
Oh, man. You'll see in the special edition how much I truly love that move.
So, again, I definitely didn't think the match would go this way. If we do get to a point where Austin's going to attempt a superplex, But Taker just pushes him off. Then Austin's going to hit a jawbreaker, but he can't get the pinfall. And eventually, Austin has to rely on his old trustworthy nut shot. So he gives him a little nut shot, and Earl Hebner doesn't even say anything about it. Austin pegs off Hebner. The whole place goes wild. Anytime you peg off the ref, everyone gets excited for that.
Yeah, crowd loves you a little bit more for that.
But that's going to come back to bite Austin in the ass because now Taker's going to kick him in the nuts. And then he's going to be begging to Earl do something about it. And Earl Hebner's like, you just pegged me off. Screw you. And then he pegs off Austin. That same spot Earl Hebner's doing like the miming act where he's kicking the guy in the nuts. Yeah, we know you're talking about kicking the guy in the nuts. You don't have to literally pretend to kick somebody in the nuts. So you have that moment. That's a pretty funny moment in the match. It's one of the best moments of the match is just pegging fingers. So eventually, Taker's gonna choke slam Austin. Austin's gonna have enough wherewithal to roll out of the ring, not get pinned. And when he gets back in, he gonna drop Taker on the rope, kind of daze him, and then he comes back in and gives him the stunner. So it seems like you're gonna have a win here, gonna have a new champion. So Austin goes for the pin. Then you start to hear the bell sounding off. As if the match is over or it's gonna be disqualified. So even the ref's like, what the hell's going on? Austin looks around. You see Brian Pillman jump the guardrail, and he's ringing the bell like a maniac. And it just distracted everybody. So you don't have interference. You don't have a DQ on it. You have Austin just kind of confused and notices that it's Pillman, so he's pissed off.
Yeah, distraction.
Right. Earl Hebner's all tied up with Pillman, trying to tell him to get the hell out of here. Meanwhile, Undertaker is getting some time to
recuperate,
get back. Yeah, to recoup. And he's going to set Austin up for a tombstone. I like this spot. This is a good ending. Where you have Austin about to take the tombstone, but then he reverses, and then he has Undertaker set up for a tombstone, and then Undertaker reverses it back, then he finally hits the tombstone, and then he pins Austin.
With the winning pin.
Yeah, with the winning pin. Yeah, and the tombstone totally looked pretty rough. It looked like Austin's head hit.
Every time he takes a pile driver or a tombstone, it looks like his head hits. Yeah. Because in some of the pile drivers he takes in those Bret Hart matches look vicious, like his head hit.
Yeah.
So obviously we know what ends up happening, from the pile driver he takes from Owen Hart.
Right.
Coming up on SummerSlam. So, I mean, it's like, was it Owen's fault, or does Austin just take the move?
Right. Too risky.
Differently.
Like he doesn't have his head up enough.
Yeah.
No. So that concludes the match, but that doesn't mean it's over. You got the whole Hart Foundation sitting ringside.
Yeah, exactly.
So now that the match is over, the Hart Foundation's gonna jump the ring, and they're gonna attack Undertaker first. And Austin's gonna notice that Bret is still alone, and he's gonna go up to Bret and just tip his ass over.
Which is funny.
Yeah, it's funny because there's a lady on the side of Bret Hart, like, he's happy to see Bret. She's like patting him on the shoulder, and then Austin comes and just dumps his ass, and the lady's like pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed at Austin. So that happens. That's a pretty funny spot.
I don't know. Maybe it's fucked up, but I found it funny seeing him get pushed out of a wheelchair. Maybe it makes me an asshole seeing someone get thrown out of a wheelchair.
It is funny.
We'll see you in hell.
What's even funnier is it's going to happen next month, I think, on our next episode or the episode after that. There's going to be a spot where this is a memorable spot.
Yeah, I know what you're going at now.
Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart are in the ring, and Bret Hart stands up from his wheelchair. Then Shawn Michaels gives him a super kick, and he falls backwards not in the wheelchair. Then flips over the chair again.
Oh, we're bad. We like seeing people in disabled positions get fucked up.
something about it.
Seeing this particular where he tips the wheelchair and takes one of his crutches. This not to bring up the movie again, but in that movie Unbreakable, Samuel L. Jackson's in the wheelchair and they just push him down the stairs. It's fucked up. I remember watching it with my brother and we both died laughing when it happened. And it's not supposed to be a laughing moment in the movie, but
right.
Seeing someone get pushed out of a wheelchair is funny. I guess.
It's just the vulnerability.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The vulnerability of it all. Is that they can't do anything about it, and they're just getting their ass tipped over or like wheeled down the ramp.
Yeah, it's entertainment. It's not like
it's entertainment. It's not something I would do.
No. And I wouldn't laugh. I hope I wouldn't laugh if I saw it happen like to someone in real life.
Right, if it's in real life, I wouldn't be laughing about it.
If I laugh, I have to second guess myself as an individual.
Yeah. It's like a YouTube video. You might laugh because you see the YouTube video, but in reality, if you were actually there, you probably wouldn't be laughing.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a normal person.
You hope you wouldn't be laughing. You start second guessing,
It's like, shit, would I have done anything?
Yeah, what's wrong with me? Yeah.
All right, so post-match, you have all that action going on. Austin and Undertaker are going to clear out the ring. JR brings up the good point that Hart Foundation cost Austin the title. So we see that, that's kind of what the main point of this match was to just build more tension between Austin and the Hart Foundation. The Hart Foundation is now, cost Austin something meaningful that Austin wanted. He cares about having the championship. He wants to be the champion. And Brian Pillman cost him that opportunity to be the champ.
Yeah, this is like the ultimate, this is like the final straw. The straw that broke the camel's back type deal.
Yep. So at that point, once everything's cleared up, Undertaker's finally announced the winner, and Austin just doesn't want to hear it, so he gives Undertaker a stunner. which is cool because you have Austin, who's the big baby face at this point. He's like the main guy in the company, and he just took the loss, but you would think he just won because he hits Undertaker with the stunner, and his music plays as the show ends. And we go off, happy. Like, he didn't get the belt, but, he's still badass. And
crowd goes home happy.
Right, exactly. So, different kind of match than I expected. Some good spots here and there. A lot of weird, unusual spots, too, with all the technical stuff. Undertaker's horrible. Austin Crab. And even there was a part where Steve Austin basically forgot how to do a figure four.
Yeah. Oh. I was saying, this match sucked.
Yeah.
It did. It's a shitty match. I mean, there are some good highlights. There's the post-match stuff, which is really good. But the match itself, things sucked. Yeah. It was not a good match.
Pretty shitty. We rated it a 2. 2
or 2.5. I think I gave it a 2.5 because I felt bad.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I was going to go 3, but then after I watched it, I was like, no way I can give that a 3.
Maybe my negativity rubbed off on you the wrong way, but man... Because I know I could, I could be a very negative wrestling fan, and but this was just trash. This was not. No, there was no build to it.
No.
It was meh.
Yeah, definitely meh.
And I think I was also salty because it's not the one I wanted you to vote for.
Yeah, we wanted. Well, we're gonna do the one you wanted anyway.
Yeah, we are, but still.
Yeah, we are gonna do SummerSlam. We're gonna do a watch along for that when it comes time.
Mm-hmm.
That was second place, so it's like we did first and second. We're going to do first and second. I voted Canadian Stampede just because, when you watch it, you'll see that it's a good match, but there's just so much going on because you have so many guys involved in the match. 10 guys. So there's a lot to talk about in a watch along with all that shit happening. But anyway, we're not doing that one. So that concludes our April through May of Cold Day in Hell build-up. And we also see some, good shit with the Hart Foundation over these past few weeks. Next week, we're going to get into continuation, right? It's going to be the King of the Ring. Okay, it's where Austin's going to have a match with Shawn Michaels. But just tell you up front here, that wasn't the original plan. The original plan was that Austin was going to have a match with Pillman. That's what was scheduled. And then Pillman, out of, going to be very gracious that he's gonna give up his match and let Shawn Michaels take it over so that they can deal with their issues. because Austin and Shawn Michaels are going to end up being kind of reluctant partners over the next few weeks. They're actually going to win the tag team championship. And they're always having issues with each other. Pillman steps out of the match and says, all right, Shawn Michaels, you can have the match with him instead. That's what they end up going with. And it was supposed to be Bret Hart having a match with Shawn Michaels, but then Hart ends up too injured that he can't make his return. So you have some changes. We'll talk about all that next week on episode 11, The King of the Ring, Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin. And again, we have our special edition for this very episode. Got this match, Undertaker versus Steve Austin. That's coming out Friday, on Black Friday. So instead of going shopping, sit down and just relax. You know, you had all that food, all that wine, whatever you drank, and now it's time to just relax on Black Friday. Watch a shitty match. Watch a shitty match with people talking shit about it. That makes it more entertaining.
Saves your money and come be miserable with us as we watch this abomination of a match in a watch along. We encourage you to join us on Black Friday.
All right, so let me just go over some of the house show action from Steve Austin throughout these weeks. He actually does have some matches. He's on April 25th. He has a match with Owen Hart. It's Owen Hart. April 26th, Steve Austin pins Owen Hart again. April 27th, pins Owen Hart. So he's just working with Owen Hart really on these house shows at this time. And then May 2nd, he is involved in a tag team match where he's teaming up with Ahmed Johnson. And they defeat tag team champions Davey Boy Smith and Owen Hart in a non-title match. And the following day, same match, same result. Steve Austin and Ahmed Johnson tag teaming. And then we get to May 4th, same thing. Ahmed Johnson and Steve Austin. Now, I'm glad they never did this on the real show on Raw.
Ahmed Johnson's just, as you watch these Raws that led up to a Cold Day in Hell, he's just slowly falling down the card.
Yeah. But he's gonna get a chance to get bumped up soon, though.
Does he?
Yeah, because the Nation of Domination.
Who's feuding with them right now, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, because he has like a handicap match or something against Crush.
Yep.
On one of these episodes
that
we just watched.
But it's soon where Farouk's going to fire everybody other than D'Lo Brown. And he's going to rebuild Nation.
We get the good Nation.
Yep. Get rid of... Well, actually, it becomes more like the black nationalist militant nation after this. Where he is racist, and he is talking about how black people have been kept down, and he's going to build a blacker nation of domination. He even says that. So he gets rid of all the white guys. He gets rid of Crush. He gets rid of the Puerto Ricans, Savio. He gets rid of the white rappers, PG-13. And just rebuilds it all with black. You know, he even, like I said, he even says, you know, my new group going to have two guys, and they're going to be a lot darker.
Damn.
So he brings in Kama, and I think it's just Kama first. Kama and D'Lo Brown. Anyway, get to that. All right, so he has Austin has one more house show match the day before Cold Day in Hell. It's Undertaker, Steve Austin, and Ahmed Johnson teaming together. Go against Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, and Davey Boy Smith. Just one night before they have their match at Cold Day in Hell. All right, so that's his house show matches. And so some random matches teaming up with Ahmed Johnson and a bunch of matches with Owen Hart. All right, so any final thoughts, JV, on this episode as we wrap up and get ready for next week with Shawn Michaels?
I have one final thought. I mean, the Raws are getting really good from here on out. So as I'm watching this stuff, doing my homework, you know, reliving the past, I find it a lot harder to turn off Raw.
Yeah, end up watching the whole episode usually.
Yeah, and what's crazy is watching these old Raws and then trying to turn on these current Raws. It makes me bitter. Like I don't enjoy the modern Raws lately because I've been watching this old stuff.
So much better.
Yeah, it's just so much better. It's even just much more well produced. It's not as much as like a circus as it appears as to now. But that's a rant for another day.
Yeah.
But no, like WWF is really starting to, climax. Like they're trending up, 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 up from here on out.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so just go give a couple shout-outs to a couple podcast friends. Our brother podcast, Talking Taker, where they are breaking down the career. It's Alex and Travis. They're breaking down the career of The Undertaker, just like we do here with Steve Austin. That's Talking Taker. Take a listen to them. They're about 64 episodes in. They've been on their Dead Man journey for a long time, and they're currently in the summer of 2000. So check out Talking Taker. And then another podcast worth checking out is Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast, where they're breaking down old episodes of WCW Saturday Night, the NWA WCW Saturday Night, from 1985 through 1988-ish. They're in 1987 currently right now. And they also have episodes of Smoky Mountain Wrestling recaps where, it's just some hilarious shit comes up, and they make it a point to be unprofessional and not try to be PC at all. So you can listen to Booking the Territory and Talking Taker. You can help us out by retweeting us. Okay, we're at the Bottom Line Cast on Twitter, and we're pretty active on there. So help us out. Retweet what we put out there. Make comments. Anything that you want to hear on the show. Anything that comes up in an episode that you want to comment on. That's where you can do it. The Bottom Line Cast.
Yeah, if you tweet us, because I need a reason sometimes to slack off at work during the day. So if you're tweeting me, I don't have to do real life stuff. So appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can get us at MPRU83. That's me at MPRU83, and then at John Van Damage for JV. So find those there. Okay. And spread the word. Share the word. Share your Bottom Line Wrestling Cast with others. I've said it before. Don't keep a secret. Spread it out.
Yeah, we don't want to be your side bitch.
Yeah.
We won't be front and center with all your wrestling fans. Show us off.
Right. All right, so thanks for listening, guys. And we'll be back this Friday. Don't forget, this Friday for a special edition Watch Along Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin from Cold Day in Hell. And we'll be back next week on Wednesday with our King of the Ring, episode 11. So be there. Okay, and also, have a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe tonight if you're on the road. Bunch of maniacs out there tonight. Day before Thanksgiving, you got amateur hour. You got kids coming back from college thinking that they're pro drinkers, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing on the road. So
no, they've had a couple Mike's Hard Lemonades getting behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for those.
Yeah, so just be careful out there, and like I said earlier, do it at home. At home, you can do it like Austin. You can just open up 2 cans and just pour it all over yourself. All right, guys. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. See you next week. So long.